In this lesson we will create a new license in TUFMAN. To create a new license, select the Licensing button from the main menu, then click on the Licenses button in the Licensing menu. We need to select an agreement under which we will set up our license. So from the Company and Association drop-down menu, we'll select Canberra International Tuna, Agreement number 3, Reporting Period number 1. And we'll click on New License. This opens up the license details form where we can enter our data. Now immediately we see that the agreement details are included in the top of this bar so that we know we're entering a license for the correct agreement. The first information that we enter is the identity of the vessel to which the license applies. We can either select the FFA VID number or we can select by the name of the vessel, and we'll type in Kim Bolton and tab, as we know that's the vessel that we wish to select. Now if we then are uncertain about our vessel and we have the correct permissions, we can click on View Edit, check on our vessel. We see Kim Bolton, it's a longliner, Canberra International Tuna, and we're confident that we've got the correct vessel. So next we'll enter the license start and end dates, and these will correspond to the reporting period on the top bar up here. So our license start date is 1st of January 2009, tab to the license end date, which is the 31st of December 2009, and tab through to the license issue date, which defaults to today. For our example license, we'll say that we're only permitted to discharge in Majuro. Okay, the remaining fields in this portion of the form are automatically retrieved by TUFMAN from the agreement, and the same applies to the applicable fees. So these have automatically been inserted, including the total fees due for this license. So let's generate our license number, and that simply involves clicking on the Generate Number button. The license number is automatically generated in TUFMAN based on the format that has been set up for your country by OFP staff. Okay, now so if we try and enter our receipt straight away, we'll immediately get a pop-up warning message warning us that the total fees due do not match the sum of fees paid, and asking if this is correct. We haven't yet entered the fees paid, so of course this is correct, so we just click on yes. So let's set up the fees that have been paid. So the payments section of the license detail form can only be completed if you have already entered the receipt into TUFMAN. Refer to the lesson Creating a Receipt in TUFMAN for further details on how to do this. The other important note is that the currency of payment must match the currency for the fee as recorded in the agreement detail form. So the first two fields in the payments table are drop-down menus. So here we need to select the receipt that applies to our particular license under this agreement. So we can see that the bottom receipt here, which has the remittance number 790543, relates to the Kim Bolton, which is our vessel, so we'll select that. Next, the payment type. Now logically we'll select the license fee to enter first, and as we can see from the applicable fees window panel above, the license fee is 1,000 New Zealand dollars. Now if we tab, we can see that the currency is automatically set to New Zealand dollars and that the local amount is automatically inserted. Now in our case no local amount is appearing, which indicates that in our receipt we didn't set a conversion rate between the New Zealand dollar and the local currency. If we wish to put any comments on this particular payment fee, then we can. Let's tab through to the next record, and in tabbing through you can see that automatically the totals for the amount paid in New Zealand dollar and the local amount are inserted. into our table. So we'll add the observer fee. So we'll select our receipt, select observer fee from our list, and type in the amount, which is $250. And if we tab through, again the totals are updated. So we can add any comments about this license if we wish down in the comments section here. At this stage we have no comments to make, so we'll leave that blank. So the next thing we'd like to do in setting up our new license is to print the certificate. To print the license certificate, we simply press the Print Certificate button at the bottom of the window. And in our case, TUFMAN is now pulling the relevant data from the database and inserting it into a read-only Word document, which is displayed here. Now we can now print this document for signing. So we'll close that window. We won't bother saving at this point in time. And return to the TUFMAN license details form. As we've issued our certificate, we can now click on the certificate issued box to show that that's been done. Okay, so we've entered all the basic details for our license. So we'll save the record and exit the screen by clicking on the Close Form button. Here we return to the license display window, and you can see that our new license has been entered and is visible to see. So let's now edit the license. We'll select the license of interest by clicking on the little arrow and then click on the Edit License button. What we're going to do now is have a look at the status of the license and the status history. So the first thing we're going to do is change the status of the license. When we enter a new license, the status defaults to normal. From time to time there is reason to either suspend or cancel a license. So to record any changes to the license status, we click on the Change button. This opens up a new screen where we can record the change to the status of the license. For our example, we'll suspend the license. We'll make that effective from today, the 24th of July 2009, and our reason will be non-payment. Once we've entered our information, we can save that and close the form. And you can see here that the status has now changed for our license, and our license is now suspended. To check the status history of a license, we can click on the Status History button on the bottom bar of the form. This opens up a new screen where we can see the status history of a license, with the current status in the top panel of the screen up here, so it's currently suspended, and the history listed in the bottom panel. As this is a new license, there's only one status currently listed. The form provides the capacity to either edit or delete a status change. Now these tools should be used with great care, as they will permanently change the license status history. To save and exit, we click on the Close Form button to return ourselves to the license details form. To save this record and exit, we again click on the Close Form button to return us to the license data list window. And that concludes this lesson.